Hello everyone. So I am going to talk right now about my evidence worksheet. So watch the video on order of operation 1 or 2A, sorry, which is knowing your evidence, where I kind of like, build up to this. I lay a foundation for this, right? Okay, so here is what I do for my evidence worksheet. I started out, I just have this template and I saved, and then when I have a new brief I'm writing, I open this up and start working on it, resave it in the file folder for the new matter, the new brief, the new project, whatever you're working on. Okay. All right, so I start out with depositions. Depositions is always one of the first things. And specifically, I'm mostly right now thinking of how we oppose a dispositive motion, like a summary judgment motion, or, maybe even writing a summary judgment or a summary adjudication motion. So we're trying to show the court what evidence we have to either, prove that we have triable issues of material fact or prove that the other side doesn't. So most of the time that hinges a lot on deposition testimony. So that's what I always attack first. It's the most interesting anyways to read. And so that's what I do. So in a deposition transcript, of course, you've got the testimony where people are asking questions and deponent is giving answers. And then those answers become sworn testimony and statements of fact, and then you can make statements of fact from those to put into your brief. So what I do is I go through, and when you're looking, I made this sample deposition transcript. I redacted names and stuff, but usually at the very beginning, one of the first pages, they have an index of exhibits, and that'll say all the exhibits that are attached to the transcript. And if I think those are any documents I might want to cite in my brief, or which might have facts that may help me, I'm going to note those, and I'm going to write those exhibits into my depo summary here. So I'm going to, deposition of plaintiff taken on, what's today, September 1st. Okay. I'm going to fill that in. And then I'm going to say Exhibit 1. What is Exhibit 1? Notice of taking depo. Exhibit 1, depo notice. And then here it says page 10 is where the thing is exhibited. So I'm going to go to page 10. But I'm not going to just leave it there. I'm going to skip to page 10, and I'm going to read what the plaintiff says about it and make sure that I'm putting the exact lines where the plaintiff says, yes, I got this notice. Yes, I understood it. Yes, I reviewed it, and, either I brought documents or I didn't bring documents or whatever they're going to say about it. That's the stuff I'm going to write out in here, and I'm going to spell it out very clearly if it's something important to my brief. Exhibit 2, what's Exhibit 2? A campus map. Maybe that's important in this case. Maybe it's not. Maybe I don't know yet, but I'm going to leave space up here to go back and add those in when and if they become important. And then I'm going to get through and start citing the relevant testimony. So on page 23 at lines 7 to 14, the plaintiff testified that she went to work at 9 a.m. on September 30th. So that's going to be important probably in laying that foundational fact pattern, right? So that's a thing, that's an item of evidence I'm going to pull out and I'm going to put it here. So, and I'm going to go through the entire transcript, and I'm going to write in all the deposition testimony that I think is relevant. And I'm going to write it in here even if I think it's only tangentially important, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe if I'm unsure, I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to put more facts in here that I'm going to eventually need. Okay. So say I get to, I don't remember exactly on this case, but say I get to page, 53, lines 22. This is how you do it. And if it goes on to the next page, you cite 53 to page 54, line 5. All right. And at that place in the testimony, let's see here. Campus security did not check her credentials. Okay, so picking back up, we've got our relevant testimony here, our documents here. So that's how we summarize, that's how I summarize a deposition in here. in my evidence worksheet. Then I will go to see, so I've got a second table there for like the next deposition I'm going to analyze and, make sure I'm going to review and make sure and pull out the evidence from. Okay, now I've also got discovery, and I've just got tables already lined up. Defendant responses to RFPD set 1, their responses to RFA set 1, frogs, and special interrogatories. Same for plaintiff responses, all those. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to be like, so in defendant responses to special interrogatories, special interrogatory number 13, defendant identifies the service agreement as a document that supports its contention that there is a breach. Right? Okay. So that's their special interrogatory, right? So they're going to say that in their response. That's a foundational element, right? So now I've got to say, okay, that defendant admits this document is supportive of its contention, but actually in this document here are these 5 things that I can pull out that say X, Y, and Z. Okay, so then I'm going to come down here to my evidence, and the doc title is going to be service agreement or whatever. So that'll be there, and then I can say discovery response to RFPD number 5, and then see also SROG number, what did I say up here, 13. Okay, so I'm going to have that there. All right, now I've got here at the bottom, I've got my final list of exhibits. So these are the things that I'm going to attach. So maybe 1 is the complaint, and 2 is plaintiff deposition, and 3 is this service agreement. All right, so these are documents I know I'm going to attach to my brief, and now I'm going to get them ready right away to be there and easily accessible for when I need to quickly check back with them, or when it's time to assemble everything at the end. So, okay, so let's say I've got this deposition transcript, right? You gotta have PDF editing software. You just gotta. If you're gonna do this, like it makes things so much easier and you don't have to waste a bunch of paper. Most of them are the same. I like Nitro PDF, Nitro Pro. It's one of my favorites. It's very easy to use, but it's very similar. Adobe has a lot of the same features. It's fine. So over here, you can go ahead and you can highlight, like, I don't want this page of the deposition. You highlight it. You can just click delete, and it's like, do you really want to delete these pages? Okay, go ahead. I always delete at the end these pages with all the words. I delete those, like they're not necessary and all that. Okay, and then before I do anything else, I'm also going to attach a cover sheet, an evidence cover sheet. So on my evidence worksheet, I've decided that the deposition is exhibit 2. So I have already saved up all my exhibit cover sheets, right? So now I've just got an exhibit 2 here already ready. So if I look at it, I open it up, it says exhibit 2. Now there's ways I can just, now that I have both of these here, I can combine them in quickly, or if I don't have the exhibit 2 open and I just want to, I can insert from file, and I can search to that folder and insert that page, that cover sheet, as the very first page. Okay, so now you've got all your documents and you've got all your evidence outlined in here, and then this evidence worksheet is going to be the document from which you're going to copy and paste and refer back to, because it's got everything all concentrated in one place. All right, clear as mud? Good.